Hey friends, how are you today? Good to see all of you. And today I just wanted to drop in and talk about something that very few people actually mention. And when I first heard about this concept, it totally blew my mind. And this is something called getting ready to get ready. Have you ever heard of that before? So basically, what this is kind of a way that our kind of our protective mechanisms and fear drive the boat in our life, where it's like we're doing all of this work and we're working so hard and we're so busy, but we're not actually getting to where we want to get to. We're not actually reaching our goals. We're only kind of looking at one small piece of the puzzle versus the bigger picture of the puzzle. So for example, like in your work life, right? Maybe you know that if you're an entrepreneur and you know there are some really big valuable things that you could do to move the needle in your business. You know that it's stuff that probably scares the hell out of you, right? Like you've got to feel vulnerable, you've got to be open, you've got to kind of take this leap of faith or invest in something, and you just, you've got that kind of contracted, fearful, oh my God, can I do it? I don't know if I can do it. And so you keep yourself busy with other BS, right? Your to-do list is a mile long. You're working on all these other pieces of the puzzle that aren't moving the needle for you. And so you live in this place of getting ready to get ready, right? Well, so this can also happen for you if you work, for a big company, or you work with a group of people where basically you have this project that you're working on, right? And you know that the most important piece of this project are these kind of things that you need to tackle, but you know that when that's the hard part, right? That's the part that requires a lot of brain power, or and maybe it feels scary because you're wondering if you're going to fail or not, right? So you avoid those things and you do all the little things. So yet again, getting ready to get ready, right? Can you see how this probably plays out in your life a little bit, especially kind of in your professional experiences? So now let's talk about how this actually plays out in your life, in your personal life too, right? In your relationship with your health, with food, with your body, all of those pieces of the puzzle. So I want you to kind of think for a minute. Where are there areas in your life where you find yourself getting ready to get ready? What does that look like for you? What do you feel like you're kind of do you have some big goals? Maybe you've set some intentions for the new year. Maybe you've had the same goal year after year after year that you're trying to reach, and it just feels just out of reach, right? What is that big goal? And what are the things that scare the hell out of you about it, right? What are the things that you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do it. It feels like too much. Hey, ladies, good to see you. What are those big, scary things that are holding you back from actually getting where you want to go? So what you do instead is you do the little things, right? Now, I'm not at all knocking the small steps. Small steps are super, super important. But in your heart of hearts, when you're really thinking about where you want to be and where you want to go, do you feel like the things that you're doing are really getting you there and really moving the needle? So let's talk about how this plays out maybe in your relationship with food, right? So ready to get ready can look like maybe going on another diet. You know that you've tried this again and again and it's not working for you. It's driving you crazy. It's making you feel restricted and exhausted, but you're like, you know what? I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to do it one more time. Or maybe going to see a nutritionist, or maybe going to hire a personal trainer, or reading one more book about food, about healing your gut, or reading a book on maybe even changing your relationship with food. One more thing, right? But it's only a little piece of the puzzle. It'll get you there a little bit. It's kind of like you're kind of putting a band-aid on the gaping wound in your arm, but it's not actually really solving the problem for you. It's just keeping you busy and keeping you feeling like you're working towards your goal. So I want you to think about, what are those things in your life where if you really look at your heart of hearts and you want to stop binging. You want to be done doing this night after night. You want to stop having to go on yet another diet because they're not any fun. Nobody enjoys doing that, right? And feeling so deprived. You want to be done with the stop start and the all or nothing. You want to be done feeling like you're, kind of like beholden to food where it's calling at you from the fridge. So when you really get down to it and you really think about what you really want, if that is your outcome, is to be done with this BS. Move on where food gets to be food and you get to love it and it's delicious and it's wonderful and it fuels you well and it tastes great and it can still bring you joy, but you want to be done with all the back and forth and all of the just obsessing about it. If that is your outcome, are the actions that you are doing today, right now, really going to get you there? When you think and you kind of get real with yourself, are these things you have tried again and again and again and it's not working? Are you continuing to kind of go about the same approach again? Or are you trying something new? Really expanding and broadening your horizons and seeing what else is out there, right? So that's what I'm talking about with the whole, that's a way that we kind of can get stuck in this getting ready to get ready trap. So let me explain more about why this is happening, because it's not your fault. It's not like this is something that you're doing to yourself on purpose, right? It's not that at all. So what's happening though is this is a part of our kind of our protective mechanisms inside of us that are trying to shield us from hurt, from rejection, from pain, from struggle, from hardship, from, the fear of the unknown. And what I like to call all of those things is your thorny cocoon. That's what I joke and call it. So whenever I'm teaching my clients about this and we're talking about your inner critic and all of the ways in which, kind of you are feeling held back in your life, we talk about this thorny cocoon. And what this is it's your comfort zone, right? It's your protective mechanisms. It's all the little things that have been put in place to keep you exactly here and keep you stuck in this getting ready to get ready place. So if you think about your thorny cocoon and you think about your comfort zone, I want you to literally imagine a cocoon. And I want you to imagine that instead of the thorns being on the outside, the thorns are on the inside. So what's happening is that because you have been in here for a long time, you know exactly where you're going to get stabbed. So your comfort zone is like, I'm going to get stabbed on the left shoulder. I'm going to get stabbed in the right on my back. I'm going to get stabbed on this butt cheek and this thigh. Like, your pain points already, right? Your struggle, where you're feeling trapped in your comfort zone. Like, it's that getting ready to get ready. It's that getting stuck doing the same things again and again and continuing to experience the same disappointments. So that is where, when your protective mechanisms, they have built this structure for you, right? They've built this thorny cocoon for you to keep you totally safe and comfortably uncomfortable, right? Because it's not like that is this super comfortable place that you want to be, that is, so wonderful. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in this group, right? It's still uncomfortable, but it's just the comfort that right? Or the discomfort that already. So what happens is, by staying in this get ready to get ready place, you are still living in your thorny cocoon. You're still comfortably uncomfortable, doing the same things, trying the same things again and again and again, because and your protective mechanisms really know that, we know what's going to happen when we do this, right? We know that when we, kind of try this thing, we do this diet, we read this book, we talk to this person, we listen to this podcast, we do whatever, we know kind of, we're preparing for change, but we're not making the change. So that can be a really big trap that a lot of women kind of fall into, right? Whether this is in business, whether this is in your life, your relationships, anything. We want the data, right? We want the information. We want to absorb all the stuff so that we know all the things, and then we take action, right? But the thing is that the way in which you actually get what you want is by breaking out of the cocoon. You have to poke holes in it systematically. There's a process that you go through to help you shift those belief systems, like we've talked about a lot in this group, and kind of weeding your garden. There's a way to poke holes in those lies that your protective mechanisms are kind of telling you and keeping you stuck in, the things that you're believing based on situations in your life, your circumstances, all of the stories that we've been told, to ourselves and what other people tell us, all of that lives in the walls of your cocoon. So we have to poke at it and prod at it and really kind of start seeing the light so that you can get an arm out and then you can get a leg out and you can kind of get yourself out of this place. And the way in which you really can do that quickly and without having to suffer and stab yourself time and time again is to really just decide. So in the last live, we talked about the whole concept of what it means to choose yourself and how to really do that effectively, and how there's a huge difference between taking action in your life and deciding that you want to do something and setting a goal, and choosing yourself. Choosing yourself comes from a much more self-honoring place and being really honest with yourself about what really do you believe is going to get you where you want to go. When you get deep inside of yourself and you listen to your guts and your intuition, we're superheroes when it comes to having such strong intuition, but the world has often told us not to listen to it. And so we don't, right? And the way that we don't listen is by being busy and by getting ready to get ready, right? We're checking off the boxes and we've got all the tasks, but we're not ever actually getting there. We're just going in circles and circles again and again, right? So what this means is it's about deciding. Do you really want the real answer? Do you want to be done with this? Are you sick of doing the same things again and again and again? And do you, have that awareness now? Can you really look? And that's something that I want you to practice this week, is really just take stock, take inventory of what is going on, right? Where are you now that we're out of the holidays, we're out of the funk? And really ask yourself and give yourself permission to say, what do you want? Maybe you don't know immediately how you're going to get out of your thorny cocoon, right? It feels scary. It feels unknown. But if you know that you know that you know that the things you have been doing aren't getting you there, they're not really moving the needle the way that you want them to, and they're not really giving you the outcome that you want, it's time to take a different approach. It's time to look at things differently, and it's time to say, I'm sick and tired of being comfortably uncomfortable. Yes, I may not know what's ahead. I may not know if I'm going to get stabbed on the left thigh or the right thigh, the left butt cheek or the right butt cheek. But you know what? I'm willing to find out because I'm worth it. I'm worthy of something different, and I'm worthy of change. So here's how you're going to do this week. You're going to kind of really let yourself sit. I want you to kind of really dig deep, and I want you to ask yourself the questions. Are the actions that I am doing right now really going to help me get to my goal of stopping binging, stopping emotional eating, stopping the all or nothing train, stopping obsessing about food all day, every day? Am I ready to be done with that? Am I really ready? And are the things that I'm doing just helping me get ready to get ready and helping me feel like I'm doing something? Or do I really believe in my gut that it's working and that it's helping me? Because if it is helping you, great. But if you feel like this could potentially be a Band-Aid for you, and this is just one piece of the puzzle and you want the whole puzzle, then what I want you to do is I want you to get really clear on, what do you want? What would you like to have? If we could just kind of take a wrecking ball, pull you out of the thorny cocoon and just roll that thing over so you could start fresh, what would you want? What would feel so good to you? What would having that outcome of not ever having to binge ever again, how would it feel? How liberated would you feel if you could look in the mirror and actually love what you see from the neck down? Like, it is the most freeing thing in the world, and it is possible. How would you feel if you never had to start another diet again? You never had to do keto, or you never had to do, Weight Watchers or whatever it is. What if you never needed to do that again because you knew exactly what you needed and when? You trusted yourself to know what was enough, and you were able to just manage your weight easily because you weren't dealing with the yo-yo cycle anymore. You were just living here, right? You could trust yourself to have a cookie and enjoy it because you're healthy and you take care of yourself and you live that kind of 80-20 life easily, right? What would that feel like? Give yourself permission to really, really feel it. Let it sink in on an emotional level. Then what I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself, how do you feel like your thorny cocoon is holding you back? What are those walls made of? What are those fears? What are those things you're worried that you're going to have to do in order to get to this goal? And I want you to ask yourself, are they really true? And are we really going to let the fear of the unknown stop you from living that beautiful, glorious life that you've always wanted and you've always dreamed about? So that is what we're working on this week. We want to kind of start poking holes in the thorny cocoon. We want to really look at, are the activities we're doing serving us? Are they getting us where we want to go? And what does our other side look like? What do we want to see and feel and experience? And, when you're ready to really do this work, you're ready to dive in and you don't want just a piece of the puzzle, you want the whole puzzle, reach out and let's talk about it. I would be more than happy to get on a call and just chat about what that would look like for you. Just see what is it that you really want. Help you suss that out, because that's really important so that you can get there too. I'm sending you so much love today, and I want you to know that it's okay if this is all you've known up to this point, right? Of course you have. Those protective mechanisms that we have are powerful, but you are stronger. You are so much stronger than you know. I want you to remember all the things that you have done in your life that have already been hard. What challenges have you already overcome? This is just one more hurdle. And it may feel impossible to you, but I want you to borrow my certainty and know that it is not impossible. It is doable for you too. You just have to commit and you just have to decide. So I'm sending you so much love today, and let me know if there's any way I can support you and love on you this week. And I'll be talking to you soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye.